And for this video, I'm going to recommend you the book that won the Fantasy Critics Award this year. And to be honest, I found out about this book because there was some type of controversy about the award being too elitist. Like, for some reason, I was reading a couple of articles, and they started mentioning how these awards are usually going to academics, professors, people with a PhD in literature. And there was a point made about the fantasy genre wanting to be something serious and wanting to boast that the creators are professors and therefore fantasy is something serious and all that stuff. I don't know how much of that is true, but I usually check all the winners of the Fantasy Critics Awards, and yeah, the one from this year is actually quite good. It's surprising. It has some elements that I haven't seen in any other books, and it's also it's well developed. I would say, like, it starts a bit slow is not the word, perhaps. It starts like, it doesn't have a lot of exposition. That's good for some readers, but I personally like when I'm in a new world, when they explain me everything step by step. Perhaps I'm not as smart as you people, but for me, it would have been better if the author just explained it a bit in more detail, but he just throws us in a world where we pick up the clues little by little. They don't have horses, they have some other type of animal that seems to be more useful because they have claws and fangs and all that stuff. So, some type of monster. And a few more elements, like they don't happen to sit down when they talk to people. Apparently, they lay back on hides, like animal hides or something like that. And it's a very good way of bringing something new, like building a society different from our own. I'm a bit tired of watching those worlds that are supposed to be in the other far corners of the galaxy, and people sit down on chairs, eat on tables, and do exactly the same things as we do them here. So for me, it has been surprising and refreshing to see those elements. Like, they don't sit on chairs when they are talking. They drink using bowls. A few of those elements are very cool. Oh, and by the way, the title of the book is "The Diplomat of Uram." The Diplomat of Uram by Richard Matthews. No, wait. Richard R. Matthews. The R is important. In fantasy, the R as a middle name is important. So, yeah, it's a surprising book. The characters are also quite interesting. And the twists are everyone is mentioning the twists because the jury of this particular award seems to be obsessed with twists and things being surprising. So apparently, we cannot have just a normal, simple story anymore. Everything has to have, like, since I guess since Game of Thrones, since A Song of Ice and Fire, everything has to be surprising. Everything has to be like leaving you totally shocked. And yeah, that's good, I guess. But there should also be some place for books that are not relying on twists and leaving you shocked every 20 pages. In any case, yeah, the shocks in this book, the twists are very good. The characters are well drawn, I would say. They don't do the usual overpowered main character. He has to learn, he has to acquire his abilities, he has to train. He fails a few times, so it's not as if everything is given to him. He's not a Mary Sue or anything like that. The romantic interest of the book is quite interesting. It's not your typical strong girl, independent woman, but she is actually quite proficient with the sword, and it has been refreshing to see an author that doesn't pander towards that specific segment of the public. Like the female characters are very interesting, they are very capable, but they're not on your face all the time showing you or mentioning how independent and strong they are. It's like you see them using the sword and you understand that they are as good or even better than some of the male characters. So that has been interesting as well. And what else can I say about this book? I finished it 2 days ago, I guess. And yeah, I was talking with a couple of friends, and they seemed to like it as well. So I thought it would be a nice adding to this channel. So yeah, Diplomat of Uram, Richard R. Matthews, and I don't remember the publishing house, but something academic, something like, that's one of the critics, that's one of the complaints that people had about this book, that not about the book, but about the award. Apparently it's too academic, and it's always given to professors and PhDs. But I wouldn't, I don't actually mind if the story is good as this one. I don't really care who gives them awards or why. The story is interesting, I loved it, and I hope you love it too.